Oh, I'm going to enjoy it. Sure. I'm just going to tap my knees here until you guys wonder what the heck's going on. You zoom in on me. There's my shot. Hi, welcome, and glad you could be here. This is a little quiet place now, but it will become more raucous, and the acoustics will improve in just a couple seconds. If you will, please, you can get up at home and do whatever you want to do. I suggest dancing or removing clothing. What are you going to perform?
Turn the lamp down low.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, it's a pleasure. The Tea Party.
Turn the lamp down low, baby, shelter me. Turn the lamp down low, rising up to see. Turn the lamp down low, baby, please don't go. Turn the lamp down low. Do you feel the flame that's burning as the candle dies? Do you see the spirit stirring as you close your eyes? Do you sense the slow advancement as the twilight thins? Do you see the serpent dancing as he sheds his skin? Turn the lamp down low, yeah. Baby, please don't go. Turn the lamp down low.
Most excellent. Yeah. Now, you know, I got to ask you right off, do you guys, you know, of course, I wanted to jump in there with my own drum and be drumming with you.
You can't have a drum, Steve.
No, Steve's not allowed.
No,
we
Steve,
gave
no.
Steve a drum. Oh, no. In Montreal during the summer months, you okay?
Yeah, I think so.
In Montreal during the summer months, they have these, anybody who has a drum. Yeah, you know all about it.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about you guys, but tell them about it real fast, because you know about it.
Just in Montreal, I think it's
I think your lab
Sunday.
is working, so you don't have to talk.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I can step back and relax. Every Sunday in Montreal, I think in the summertime, in the afternoon, on the hill.
Right.
Mount Royal. Right. They get up there and everyone just brings a drum and...
Anybody, so there will be literally...
it's like thousands of people on this hill just playing.
People come and they dance and people drum. That was an inspiration, that bit there, from the thing in Montreal, was it?
No, not really. Well, maybe, sure. Why not?
Okay. What the heck?
That's...
Well, yeah, start something in Toronto. That'd be a great idea. Okay, so what's happened between the last album and this? Go ahead, tell me. I know that you have a lot more of what would be deemed Eastern instruments. Would that be fair?
Yeah, world instruments, I suppose. You know,
Okay.
Just maybe having the courage of her convictions now to get out there and just interpret these other cultures in a much more authentic way, I suppose.
But you have to learn how do you interpret the culture when you don't know how to play the instrument yet? You have to do
Well,
that first. And if you don't end up being, I'm not saying you're not proficient, but don't you have to get to a level of proficiency?
Well, first of all,
before-
we don't profess to be masters at any of these instruments.
I say you're masters at everything. I don't care what they might be saying. As far as I'm concerned, you guys are masters at it all.
Well, now, Steve. But I think what it is that I think in its interpretation and what we're doing with these instruments, whether it be the drums or something like the sarod, or whatever the case, right? I think in its interpretation, I think there's an innocence there, and it would be the same. It would be the same thing as, say, if we gave a Marshall Stack and a Gibson Les Paul to someone in North Africa that's never
That's a
played
cool
one
idea.
before. You know what I mean?
You guys thought about doing that?
Yeah, we have.
Have you?
Cultural exchange of sorts. Right?
No? I'd like to see that happen. Now, I was going to say this is something that you want to do. Quite obviously, this is something you want to do. But there are like 30, how many instruments on this album? I was 31,
I don't know.
32, 40,
25,
5.
30, something like that.
Was it a matter of using that many instruments so you could say that you used that many instruments? And I don't mean I'm not trying to fault you in any way, shape, or form, but in order to be able to prove
Each
the latest
instrument has
album.
its unique color.
Right.
And just, we had like complete free reign in the studio. And
Yeah.
just, we would, like, whereas before we relied on maybe ambience or room, noise, whatever, we relied more on texture on this album, and color.
Well, yeah, I think the one thing that we tried to capitalize on this time is that in our influences from those other cultures, right, and how we used to, or how we still like to listen to that type of music, right? I think the one thing that we can capture is, like in an authentic way, is the mood. You know, how it makes us feel, right?
Sure.
There was a lot of the song structures on the edges of Twilight that it called for those type of moods as well, right? So, and in the style of, like, say the style of guitar playing I've been doing for the last few years with a lot of alternate tunings or whatnot, right? It's pretty easily adaptable to these instruments, you know, so for some reason I was able to pick them up, you know, a bit quicker than...
How many different percussion instruments did you use this time around? Anything new?
Yeah, a bunch of new stuff like Native American Indian
Talking drum? Is that a talking drum?
Yeah. So
Show it to them, folks who don't know what it is. Actually, why don't you demonstrate it so they can... Very cool.
that type of thing. These are from Turkey. That's a darabuka that Jeff played at the end
This
of
right
the.
here? Yeah.
It's got a tambourine and stuff, right?
Very cool.
That's a Dumbeck ceramic.
That would be that one
Cast
down there.
Show and tell.
Show and tell
Show and
time.
tell.
No, because they're really intrigued because the sounds on the album are, we've heard them before, but this is kind of like a new twist on what there's nothing new under the sun, is what I'm basically trying to say. But you can take what's there and make it your own.
Well, I think the only way that, you know, this thing that we call rock music or intense music or whatever, the only way that it's going to go forward is with, you know, Western musicians interpreting these other cultures, right? You know, because, I mean, still, those other types of music, they still might seem a little bit occultish to people, right? You know, it's a bit unknown still, right? You know, but with the advent of, you know, the channels of communication opening up the way they have, right? Things like world music are much more accessible than they used to be. So we think very like-minded with artists like, you know, Dead Can Dance, or the things that Peter Gabriel has done, right? You know, but the thing that we're doing though is, you know, playing the instruments actually ourselves, right? Not hiring like orchestras or, you know, utilizing different things, right?
Okay, we got about 45 seconds here. The internet thing, give the time and the date, and I'll explain to you guys if the internet, you go, oh my God, I think I know how. When is it? When's the date for
Tonight.
It's tonight. Okay. At what time will? At 8 o'clock.
Eastern time.
Okay. Now I'll have the address for you guys later. You guys will give it to me. We have no time to post it up right now. But the internet address, so you can see. And this hasn't been done in Canada. A Canadian band hasn't done this before, have they?
Yeah, I think this is the closest. I guess there's normally been a delay. I guess this is going to be like real time, you know, like completely live, no delay.
Superb. Yeah, very cool. You'll be making history. Good luck with the brand new album, The Edges of Twilight, guys. Thanks so much for performing for us. We appreciate it.